The bass was pounding so hard through the floor that I could feel it in my chest. Sweat, perfume, and liquor mingled in the air like a heavy, intoxicating fog. I shouldn't have been there, not tonight. But something in me needed to see, to know. When I walked into that party, I didn't expect the 3 men by the bar to go silent when they saw me. Their conversation halted mid-laugh. They exchanged a look, half pity, half warning, and one of them, a tall man with a sleeve tattoo, tilted his head toward the upstairs hallway. Then he said quietly, "You might want to see what's happening in there." For a moment, the words didn't register. I just stood there, forcing a nervous smile, pretending I didn't hear. But his friend's eyes flicked to the staircase again, and that silent gesture sliced through my denial. I started walking. My heart was pounding louder than the music. Every step felt heavier, slower. The laughter around me blurred into a low hum. I could see people watching me, whispering. My stomach turned cold as I reached the top of the stairs. The door at the end of the hallway was cracked open, the light inside dim, golden. I heard a woman's voice, soft, familiar. A laugh I knew too well. My wife. And then a man's voice, deeper, confident. My throat closed up. I pushed the door open. They froze. Half-dressed, startled, guilty. The sound that came out of me wasn't a word. It was a broken, guttural thing that made Emma cover her mouth in shock. The man, Daniel, her co-worker, stumbled back, trying to grab his shirt. "Mark, it's not," she started, but her voice cracked. "Not what?" I whispered. The question sounded hollow, ridiculous even to my own ears. I could smell the sweat on them. The perfume she wore for me. The same necklace I bought her for our anniversary, dangling loosely against her collarbone. Something inside me split, clean, silent, irreversible. I walked backward out of the room, my chest tight, as if my ribs were closing around my heart. I could hear her calling my name, but it sounded like it came from underwater. I drove home in silence, gripping the steering wheel so hard my knuckles went white. I don't remember red lights. I don't remember breathing. Only when I reached our house did the reality hit me. My hands started shaking uncontrollably. I stood in the kitchen, staring at the photo on the counter. Our wedding day, her in that white dress, me smiling like a fool who thought love was permanent. The clock ticked. I could hear it like a hammer. When the door finally opened behind me an hour later, I didn't turn around. I could hear her crying softly. "Mark, please. Please let me explain." Kept my back to her. "You don't need to. I made a mistake," she said between sobs. "It didn't mean anything. I felt like you weren't really here anymore. You're always working distant." Stop. My voice came out low, controlled. The kind of calm that hides a storm. She froze. "You're blaming me," I said, turning around. "You cheat, and somehow it's my fault because I worked late?" Her lips trembled. "That's not what I'm saying. Daniel was there, he listened, and I laughed, sharp and humorless. You wanted to feel wanted. Congratulations, Emma. You got it." She took a step toward me. "I love you, Mark. Please don't let this destroy everything." I looked at her, really looked. The mascara streaked down her face, the trembling hands, the ring still on her finger. "Everything's already destroyed," I said quietly. "You just didn't notice when you lit the match." She broke down then, sliding to the floor, sobbing. But all I felt was emptiness. No rage, no sadness. Just a hollow, echoing space where love used to live. I left the house that night, driving aimlessly until sunrise. The city looked different at dawn. Quiet, indifferent, as if it didn't care who was breaking apart inside it. For weeks, I stayed with a friend. She called every day, left voicemails, sent messages filled with guilt and apologies. I ignored most of them except one. "Mark, I can't eat, I can't sleep. I ruined everything. Please come home. Please." Something inside me twisted. I still loved her. That was the worst part. Love doesn't vanish just because someone destroys it. It lingers, bleeding slowly, poisoning you from the inside. A month later, she asked to meet at the same cafe where we'd had our first date. I almost said no, but curiosity won. She looked fragile when I arrived. Thinner, paler, eyes swollen. I ended things with him, she said immediately. He tried to contact me again, but I told him never to. I sipped my coffee without replying. She reached across the table. Please, Mark. I want us back. I'll do anything. Her eyes, those same eyes that once held my entire world, looked desperate, sincere. I don't know if I can ever trust you again, I said. I'll prove it, she whispered. For the next few weeks, she did everything to show she'd changed. Therapy, honesty, open phone, everything. Slowly, painfully, we began to talk again. And I almost believed her. Until one night I came home early from work. The lights were low. I heard her voice in the kitchen, soft, warm. Then I heard his. Daniel. I froze in the hallway, the words hitting me like shards of glass. He doesn't suspect a thing, Emma whispered, laughing quietly. I stepped into the doorway. Her face drained of color. Daniel turned pale as a ghost. I suspected enough, I said softly. No yelling. No scene. Just the cold, suffocating realization that love wasn't coming back this time. I took off my ring, placed it on the counter and walked out. Behind me I heard her break. Really break, sobbing my name, begging. But this time I didn't turn around. The door clicked shut, sealing the end of something I once thought was unbreakable. Outside, the night air felt sharp and clean. For the first time in months I could breathe. And though my heart was in pieces, at least they were mine again.